We put together the assemblage of all of the storage facilities. But I used to work for 3 years for DR Horton. And DR Horton really wanted, right before interest rates went up, they had assigned me to try and find some communities up here, and we were looking at the Providence Highlands, the Millville and the, right where those two connect. And they got really close to doing it, but then interest rates went up and those were a higher end home, and they just said, we're gonna pull back, but. So you and I don't know if you remember TR Horton calls.
I do.
For that one
I do.
a few years
Yes.
ago, so that was me.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
I heard us come on, right?
You're
Okay.
good.
All right, we will start our meeting. This is the Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority. It is April 30th, 2024 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm Scarlett Bankhead and I will chair the meeting. Max Pierce is on my left. He's our city engineer. And Rob Stapley is excused. He's actually on his way to get a new garbage truck for us. So we're going into the garbage business tomorrow. We have two items. The first is the approval of the March 14th, 2024 minutes. And I did not have any corrections on those.
Neither did I.
And Max didn't either. Oh, gosh, I forgot to introduce everybody. We'll do the minutes and then I'll introduce everybody. So with no corrections, I would make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Max Pierce second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. I failed to make introductions. I apologize. Also here with us, our city manager, Ryan Snow, our city recorder, Ty Cameron, our zoning clerical person is Diane Campbell, and our stormwater compliance technician is Colton Love. So, and we have the applicants are here. We have one item on our agenda. It's a commercial site plan. The Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority will consider for approval a request by David Adams for Cash Storage Partners LLC for an office building located at 365 West, 100 North in Providence. And Dave, you wanna, well, actually, I'll have Diane just give us a quick staff report and then I'll have you come up and introduce your group and go from there.
Okay.
Okay, this application was received April 25th. Rob Stapley did his infrastructure inspection on April 26th, and Aaron Walker sent his fire review, and he just sent it a few minutes ago, so that will have a date on that when we do the actual record of decision. Findings of fact: the following Providence City Code Providence City Code regulations are what we follow, and it's 10.8.5 commercial zone districts. And the official map revised October 22nd. Actually, is that right? Yeah, that's the date we found, right? It's October 2022 is the last revision of our zoning map. Conclusions of law: the property is located in a commercial general district zone. The applicant meets the requirements of 10.8.5 with the following conditions. The applicant will continue to meet all relevant federal, state, county, and Providence City rules, laws, codes, and ordinances. Approval by the city of any application or paperwork submitted does not alleviate the owners and or their agents from their responsibility to understand and conform to local, state, and federal laws. Providence City's approval is not intended to and cannot be construed to allow any laws to be violated.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions, gentlemen, on that?
No.
So Dave, if you wanna, in fact, if your team wants to pull chairs up, you can just sit at that table. It's fine with me. You wanna introduce yourselves and just tell us briefly what your intent is?
Sure. If I go too long, just tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce Tom Checketts and Braden Checketts. I think you all are aware of them right now, and we just appreciate you taking time to meet with us individually. It's focused on us right now. I think the plans speak for themselves. I think the only thing that was in addition to the plans is what Scarlett and I talked about, and I sent an email regarding the planting strip. That we agreed to put a 5-foot planter strip on the south side of the building, which is right below the glass wall, to speak kind of, by the entry. And then also agreed to put a 4-foot planter strip in between the concrete driveway and sidewalk on the east side of the building. And other than that, I think that the plans were somewhat detailed. I think it's gonna be a really nice little addition. We were struggling with the location to put it up front. And I think now that we've decided to move it back at the end of the lane, it's really much better. It's an attractive building. If I would have known that I was gonna be here, I would have brought some pictures of what we hoped it would, the color scheme would be, but I don't always seem to plan ahead that well. So anyway, if there's some questions for me, I'm happy to. Colton, no questions? Come on, just one.
You've met with Rob Stapley and talked to him about the water and sewer services coming in, correct?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
so he gave us instructions on that, on how to make those connections, and we have very little road cut. Because we're gonna go down the side of the property. Yeah, we're gonna go down where the fence kind of is now, between the fence and the asphalt. So we're not gonna do a road cut, except for just to connect that water.
okay, so there is going to be a fee involved with that we hadn't talked about. There's a deposit and a excavation fee. And then when you finish with that, then you get your deposit back. So,
Okay.
as long as you work with Rob on that and he's good to go with the placement of those, I'm fine with that. One other thing that, we didn't talk about, we have fiber, there's fiber in that area, right? They can, so when you go to put the electrical trench in to go into your building, we would ask that you contact us so that we can come and put the conduit in, right?
We'll work that out with you to help get the conduit put in.
Well, we've already planned to just put that conduit in.
Okay,
Yeah, and I think the only thing is we just need to make sure that we have our proper spacing, and I'm not sure what proper spacing is for the internet as opposed to electrical, but whatever we need to do there, we'll just.
The nice thing with fiber and light is it's different than the copper and coax that's more susceptible to the electrical pulses. So fiber isn't as susceptible as copper was, so you can have that. It's not as big of a critical issue.
Okay,
So,
did you say copper?
well, copper can be, I mean, if you have it over copper, like a cable, that's a lot different in a trench and have to have some more spacing than fiber and light.
Yeah, I think we would just run that as poly pipe rather than a copper anyway, because of the price of copper.
and we do have a form that when Diane, will you put that with his record as decision? Max, what questions do you have?
It's a little bit fuzzy on my version, but the one that Ryan's on right there. How far is the west side of your building from the property line?
So right there, it indicates 12 inches. We're gonna hold it a little bit more than that just because of footings and to make sure we're on our property for any concrete footings. So it'll probably be closer to 18 inches, 2 feet.
Okay, and does that meet the setbacks?
For commercial, since they're up against a commercial.
Yeah, but from a fire rating perspective, do they have to fire rate the building? If they're
Right,
less than
or
10?
Did Aaron say anything about
No,
that?
he didn't say anything about that. Everything that he talked about was approved.
Yeah,
Fire
I mean,
access and.
I think we might wanna just check real quick with Aaron on that, cause I thought that at one time he told me if it's less than 10 feet, it had to have a different fire rating or something. But I'm not 100% sure on that, if he knows that, and maybe cause I couldn't read that dimension of my version, but it looked like it was pretty close, so that's why I was wondering. And the parking is on the east side of the building, you just got a couple stalls on the east side of the building, is that right?
It's 4 stalls and 2.
Okay,
And the idea is that the 2 will go for the office employees and then the 4 will
And they'll be
for
behind the
customer.
gate. The 2 were behind the gate, the 4 are in front of the gate for the public.
gotcha, okay,
And also along with that, because it doesn't really indicate where the lane stops and starts there.
right,
So our intention was to come to the edge of the asphalt and then from there go with concrete for parking. So again, we don't have to come in and do just a small asphalt repair there, but it'll just be concrete parking.
gotcha.
And it's just at the end of the lane and then we'll do the parking and then we'll do the sidewalk and the planting and then start the building.
I think that's pretty much all I had. I guess it will allow. I know there's in the past been a driveway that went through there, but I don't know if it's still capable. I haven't been over there and looked at it for a while, but
The right of way is actually on the west side of or the easement is on the west side of the property line, so.
okay, gotcha.
And so they're going like 2 feet off the existing fence, right? 2 feet to the east of the,
To the side, to our wall line.
yeah, you've got the existing fence and then about 2 feet, and then that would be your wall.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I have any other questions.
Do you have any?
One thing about it is we're going with, right now our plan is to go up about 4 feet high with brick and then a metal standing seam. So it's gonna be really an attractive looking building. I think it blends with everything else we have in the neighborhood here, so.
So when you're digging up the park strip to put your, water and sewer services in, how about you take out that furthest west tree? Would you be
Bill,
opposed to that?
we'd be happy to give you a 3-for-1 special.
So let's negotiate this a little bit.
3 for 1, does that mean you're gonna take out 3 for the 1? What that 3 for 1 negotiation is?
We just drove by and couldn't believe the landscaping, and so it's something that we're brainstorming. We have 5 sites in the valley, you've probably seen them, and some of them look much better than others than this one.
Well-
We need to clean it up.
That one came in back in like 1980 something. And the city didn't have all, very strict requirements at all at that time. In fact, one of the things was that they couldn't have water hookup. And so, why, I don't know, that was way before my time when it came, but anyway, so part of the problem that they had with their landscaping was because they did not run water or sewer into that property. And so everything had to be done by hand, and that was not a very feasible way to landscape. So, but then when we did do some improvements along 100 North, and I want to say there's water line in that park strip, but maybe not.
Would make sense, those trees are growing, it's out of something.
Yeah, I want to say we put a drip line or something there, but I don't know. Anyway, the trees got planted there, and that furthest west one particularly is kind of it impedes traffic. Pulling out of the post office, it makes it difficult for people to see, so.
We'll take it down.
One thing we can do for future is where we do that water line coming across, we plant our meter out there, we can stub to have water for that future planting area there before the water goes back to this building. We just tee off there.
That would be really nice.
Yeah,
People would be
I mean,
really happy.
it'd be easy to do. And then, you know, they'll have to just take it from there, but at least we get water to there for them.
Okay, all right, sounds good. That's all I have unless, is there anything anybody else wants to bring up? You want a little Maddie if you could talk on.
I know, I don't really want to get on his bad side.
On the storm water.
Maybe I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
That being said, Max, do you wanna make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion, we approve this, I guess we didn't have any conditions, huh?
Well, just that you follow up with Aaron on the.
Okay, yeah, with the
And
condition.
removal of the tree.
And removal of the tree.
What was the condition? I just didn't hear that.
So the condition of following up with the fire marshal and making sure that
Okay.
that building's meets fire code.
Okay. And then you would just email me and let me know that we're good to go on that.
Do you want the trees to be a condition or?
Removing the one tree would be great.
And then will Diane find out from Aaron on that?
I can't.
Actually,
He sent his review already.
is this a kit or is this going to have a building permit review?
Oh, it definitely has a building permit.
That's what I thought. It
So
will come through the building permit review, but we just need to make a note to Aaron to look at the distance and make sure.
Okay.
So we can make that note, but you'll get notified through the building permit review.
Okay. Just because you'll forward that on to the building department,
Actually, you will. Diane will.
I will.
Yes, you'll pay your fee after we get done with this meeting and Diane has a chance to get the paperwork together. Then she'll notify you. You'll pay your fees and then you'll take that information, that the record of decision sheet that she gives you and attach that with your county building permit. And you'll submit all that to the county and then they will let you know what more is needed. So Max, do you want to restate your motion one more time?
Sure, make a motion, we approve this, with the condition of removal of the west tree and verification with the fire department on the setback or fire rating of the building.
And I'll second that. So the motion was by Max Pierce, the second by Scarlett Bankhead. All in favor?
Aye.
Voting was unanimous. That concludes our meeting unless you have any other questions.
No, it's a pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
all.
you.
Thanks for not being in any trouble.